We want to thank all of our fans. Our Nathan's video, which is our most popular, has hit 11,000. Our Katz Deli one is over 6,000. And we just want to reach out and thank all of our fans, and there'll be more to come.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Two Guys from Jersey. I'm Jeff. We're here with John. We got somebody else with us today.
This is one of our guests today. This is our friend Tony. He's an international leader, originally from Cuba. Now, if you guys are fans of The Two Guys from Jersey, you've heard us mention Tony before. This is the guy that makes the best milkshakes around. Any Dairy Queen, any of those places, nobody compares with Tony's milkshakes, and we've mentioned that. So he's joining us today.
As a matter of fact, I've always said best strawberry shake I've ever had. I don't like my shakes thin. I don't like them thick. I don't like them thin. I like them right in the middle. Tony will make a shake to your liking if you ever go see him. So Tony, why don't you introduce yourself?
How you doing, guys? I'm Tony Castro from West New York, New Jersey. And like Jeff said about the shakes, the thing with the shake, Jeff, that you have to understand is like anything in life. It can't be too thin. It can't be too thick. It's gotta be in the middle, so you could actually enjoy it. I mean, there's nothing more that I hate than to go and have a shake somewhere and you have to like slurp it down like, you need a vacuum.
You need a vacuum. Yeah, exactly. You gotta eat it with a spoon. Some place you gotta eat it with a spoon.
You can't enjoy that.
But I actually like that because I always tell Tony to make a float into my shake.
Yes.
And I go for the black and white, and Tony will finish it off with some nice vanilla ice cream.
But then you need a spoon to eat the shake.
You do need a spoon to finish it off. But again, as you say, to each his own.
I do feel like we have to apologize because we haven't posted a video in a year. We actually set out for 2 other videos that we never posted. One was Harold's in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, where they have a great pastrami sandwich. The footage just came out terrible. And the other one, let's just say we went to Luke's Lobster Shack and we had some technical difficulties. Is that fair to say, Doctor?
That's very well worded. Yes, I agree, Jeff. Technical difficulties.
So we couldn't get those 2 videos out to you. Today, we're going someplace that is not a Two Guys from Jersey spot that you would think. It's not a Fuddruckers. It's not a Zinburger. It's not a burger joint. It's a place that our friend Tony has been trying to get us to go to for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, maybe longer.
Maybe even longer.
It's a place in downtown New York called Ed's Lobster Bar. It gets great reviews from other people, but we're not biased by that. We'll tell you what we think of it. Again, it's probably not our style. It's more of a bougie place. Downtown in the city. We're Jersey guys. A little different, if you understand that.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, I went to Hiram's last night. It was unbelievable.
And I was there a week and a half, 2 weeks ago with my son.
Hiram's
great as always.
Hiram's unbelievable.
Hiram's never fails.
Tony, tell us a little bit about Ed's Lobster Spot. Okay. All right, what is it? Ed's Lobster?
Ed's Lobster Bar. Well, the chef there is Chef Ed McFarland. The location
I believe he's a Food Network guy, right?
Yes, he is. He has been on the Food Network. He has displayed his famous lobster meatballs, which we will be having today at Ed's Lobster Bar. Now the lobster meatballs.
We're just excuse me for a second. If you see me gyrating, we have a student's driver in front of us that was driving very haphazardly down the boulevard.
Off the road. Get him off the road.
We were afraid of an accident or something. We don't want that. Okay?
Go ahead, Tony.
So to get back to the lobster meatballs are made on Wednesday. So it is a special item. You will never see it on the menu. When you go to Ed's Lobster Bar, you basically have to ask for it on Wednesday. You go Friday, they'll be gone.
Okay. They'll be here today.
It's very, 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 I would say it's 90% that there will be lobster meatballs today.
Okay. What do you get when you go to Ed's Lobster Bar?
Okay. One of the staples of Ed's Lobster Bar, which is one of the things that my fiance loves when we go, is the fried oyster sliders.
Okay.
And he puts them on these little White Castle type buns.
Okay.
And delicious. With a little sauce, delicious.
I think that in any lobster bar, though, I would think that the main dish would be basically their lobster roll sandwich.
Yes,
where you can just taste the fresh lobster. I think that has to be sampled.
That is the signature dish of the place. But like Jeff said, you have to start somewhere.
Fried oysters, you know, it just depends on the freshness of the oyster. That's the key to that. I was introduced to those many, many moons ago down in the Low Country in South Carolina, where they do some really, really nice seafood cooking.
I'm sure down there.
Again, you might not think a Jersey guy down in the Low Country, but we're all over.
All right. Well, as the doctor famously said in one of our past episodes, we'll sample the menu and let you know what we think. I'm Jeff. This is John. We're the two guys from Jersey with our friend Tony. We'll see you over in the city. All right, so we just ordered our meals here. No menus. You order off the chalkboard. I got a lobster BLT, and I got, for appetizer, the Ed's Slaw.
I went with the traditional Ed's Lobster Roll, and as my app, I went with the lobster mac and cheese.
What'd you get, Doctor?
I went with the New England clam chowder as the appy, and I went with the lobster roll with crispy fries as my main one.
Well, we'll bring it out. We'll see what's going on.
And unfortunately, there were no lobster meatballs today, so they must have been packed here yesterday. So, and the fried oyster sliders are only around for dinner.
Tony's a little disappointed. We'll talk about more. We'll talk about that more in the car on the ride home.
For lunch, so I'm a little disappointed.
We'll talk about it on the ride home.
New England clam chowder.
We have the Ed's bowl of slaw.
Ed's lobster mac and cheese.
Here, Tony's got a lobster roll. Doctor's got a lobster roll. I went with the lobster BLT. Looks like it's filled with lobster. We got some pickles on the side. Let's check it out and we'll let you know.
This is the best part. When you take the first bite out of the lobster, look at all that lobster.
Go for it.
I'm going to dive into mine, see what I think of it.
Lobster BLT looks great. Back in the car, done eating at Ed's Lobster Bar. I'll go with everything I tasted. So I'll start with the coleslaw. I'm a huge fan of coleslaw. I like mayonnaise based, I like vinegar based. It doesn't matter what kind of coleslaw you give me. I can tell a good coleslaw from a bad coleslaw. This was a okay coleslaw. It wasn't the worst coleslaw I ever had. It wasn't the best coleslaw I ever had. It was a vinegar based coleslaw. It had pickles in it, which was a little different, and then a couple of capers I think I saw in there, which was a little different. Coleslaw was okay.
But that's not what we came here for.
That's not what we came here for.
That was just an accoutrement to it, which wasn't free, which you had to pay for.
You had to pay for that. It was $6 for the bowl of slaw. Okay?
For 25 cents of cabbage.
Okay. So next up we had the lobster mac and cheese. I tasted some of Tony's. He actually ordered it. Lobster mac and cheese was very good. Dare I say the best part of my meal. It had a small amount of lobster, not what you would expect at a lobster bar. How much was the mac and cheese, guys?
20 bucks.
20 bucks for the mac and cheese, definitely not worth the $20. Then on to the main dish, $24 for my lobster BLT. The bacon on it was great. The lobster was not much of it, and really just cold, not really flavorful, kind of tasteless lobster. My least favorite part of the meal. It came with fries. Fries were excellent. Next up.
All right, I'll go next. I started off with the New England clam chowder with bits of bacon, $10. I would have rather had the Campbell's Chunky New England clam chowder.
Really?
There certainly would have been many, many more clams in it. It was bland. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't anything special at all.
I did notice there was one
There was
clam on
one
top.
actual clam in it. If I got 2 or 3 other little chunks of clam in there, it was a lot. Not good. I tasted some of the coleslaw. It was decent. I tasted some of the mac and cheese that Tony got. It was tasty, but again, there wasn't a lot of lobster in the lobster macaroni and cheese. And I had the lobster roll, which I guess would be their signature dish. $34.
Expensive?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. The lobster didn't have that sweet, fresh taste to it. Whatever spice they put on it, I didn't like it. But the lobster itself, I just didn't have that real good taste. I had a piece of Jeff's lobster just to see if there was a difference. And although his didn't have the seasoning on it, I still didn't get that fresh, sweet taste. The fries were delicious. Overall, very, very disappointed with the place.
Okay. We came here because Tony's been recommending this place for years. I don't want to knock this place down because the guy who was recommending it for years is with us. But, you know, Tony's going to get his chance to talk. Maybe he's gone at a different time, as he'll tell you. Maybe it was different at different times. I don't know. Tony, go ahead.
Okay. My review today of Ed's Lobster Bar was a little disappointing. First off, this was my first time coming to Ed's Lobster Bar for lunch. Normally, I come for dinner, and there were several things that I normally order, being the fried oyster sliders, that are not on the menu for lunch, but they're on the menu for dinner.
But that shouldn't have anything to do with the lobster.
Of course.
In other words, the quality of the lobster should be the same at lunch or dinner.
Correct.
Maybe you're going to get charged a few dollars more for dinner. We understand that. But the quality of the lobster.
I'm gonna, in terms of the lobster roll, I disagree with you. I really, really, really like Ed's Lobster Roll.
Okay.
The fries are always a home run, as usual. They do a great job seasoning the fries. The lobster mac and cheese was a little light on the lobster. I'm gonna agree with you there. It was the first time that I have the lobster mac and cheese. However, the sauce on the lobster mac and cheese, what I thought was very good. I was disappointed that there were no fried pickles, which I normally love to have as an app. The fried oyster sliders, which are a home run. I really feel bad that you guys couldn't have them, because I think you guys would have enjoyed them.
But we can only comment on what we have.
Yeah.
We can't assume something was good, even if you're telling us that, because we didn't taste it.
And also, you and I have different opinions on the lobster.
Well, that shows you that just shows you how we work. Nobody buys us. We tell you what we think. Today we got a guest with us, so it's 3 regular guys today. 2 are arguing one way. He's going where he liked it. So, you know, take a shot yourself, I guess, and see.
You know, I think you get the lobster roll. I think you get enough lobster meat.
There was a lot of meat. Yeah, there was meat.
I think you get enough lobster meat on the lobster roll. They do a good job there.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Is it a little pricey? Absolutely. You know, we're in downtown New York City. You know, I think if this place was in Jersey, you could probably have the lobster roll for $10 less. You know, but all in all, I was a little disappointed with the lunch.
So we got to talk about the ambiance. This is not a typical 2 guys from Jersey spot. All right, it's a very trendy place. It was packed. The place was crowded. They had a full bar. If you were into drinking, we didn't drink, but you had a full bar. The staff was overwhelmed, it seemed. There's really no music going on in the background. You hear any music playing?
A little music
They're
playing.
light music, maybe?
It was a diverse crowd. I think there were tourists. I think there were regular office workers from the area, and some regular New Yorkers. So I think it was a combination of everything.
It's in a great location.
The waiter was a gentleman. He was informative. He was very polite to us. Nobody was rude and all.
No.
I mean, it's a little hole in the wall, though. I mean, to tell you the truth, as to what it is. Let's grade it out.
All right.
Give me the whole thing, Jeff. What's your grade, man?
I'm going with a D. I'm going to be honest with you. You know what? It's not a D. It's not a D. It's a C minus. Everything was good. Lobster BLT was less than good. Fries were great. And you know what? I do have to say they have a nice touch at the end. They give you a chocolate lobster, right? That was a nice touch at the end. Might have been the best part of my meal.
But it was
actually.
But it was a dark. It was dark chocolate.
I like dark chocolate.
I want milk chocolate. So I didn't even like that.
I like dark chocolate.
I'll go with his original grade. I'll give it a D.
You're going D.
I'll give it a D, mainly based on the lobster wasn't what I expected.
Yeah.
Was there enough of it? Yeah, there was a solid amount on the sandwich. Just didn't taste like it was fresh, sweet. North Atlantic lobster.
It wasn't sweet lobster. Also, they give you pickles with it that were terrible.
Almost made me wonder if it wasn't a North Atlantic lobster. I almost wonder if it was more like one of the spiny lobsters, like a Caribbean lobster or something like that. That gives you a little different taste.
It's possible.
So I would give it a D.
I'm going C minus. Nothing really turned me off that bad.
I enjoyed the place. I enjoyed the people watching.
Yes.
The atmosphere, the ambiance.
We had a great time. We had a great time. Tony, give it a grade.
Obviously, I'm a little bit disappointed with the meal. I've gone to that place before for dinner and left there with A minuses.
Okay.
Today, I gotta be honest with you, very disappointed that a couple of little things had changed. There wasn't the menu that they normally put on the table for you. I don't know if they only do that for dinner.
What's your grade, Tony?
I'm gonna go with a B minus today, just for the simple fact that I was expecting to have a lobster meatball today, which is one of my favorite things to eat there. The oyster sliders, the fried pickles, things that I've had at this place on several occasions. This is probably like anywhere between my 10th to 15th time going to Ed's Lobster
We had a bad experience at lunch. Let's leave it at that, I would say.
This is my first and last time.
Yes.
Okay.
But the two guys from Jersey will not be back there.
All right, Jeff, we ready to wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up. Go ahead, Doctor.
Go ahead. Hey, just again, thanks for everything. And we have our friend Tony with us today. Remember, he makes the best shakes in the world. He's a dear, loyal friend. That's Jeff. I'm John. We're the two guys from Jersey. Until next time.